Welcome to Effective Teaching and Learning for Secondary Science. This is Module 3.2. In this module, we'll continue examining the process of planning to teach science. The first question that we'll focus on in this module is, how are you planning to teach science? How you as a teacher plan to implement instruction is important, as it requires thoughtful planning and sound decision-making. Likewise, your instructional implementation will need to reflect and utilize methods that engage students in the thinking and learning processes. We'll begin by examining instructional units. Part of the backwards design process, or thinking about the end outcomes of a course and planning backwards, involves creating instructional units. As Chiappetta and Kabbalah 2010 state, units bring coherence to a science course by the way in which they are related through the structure of the discipline. In other words, units are important as they link the smaller components of the course, such as lesson plans, to the big picture. Thus, units will include multiple lesson plans that utilize multiple learning opportunities, all with the intention of providing students with opportunities to build understanding. Within instructional units, you will also need to plan instructional lessons. Instructional lessons should involve multiple teaching skills and a variety of instructional strategies. Instructional strategies can be considered the manner in which an entire lesson or a major part of it is approached. As Chiappetta and Kabbalah 2010 state, experienced science teachers acknowledge that their ability to employ these teaching skills and instructional strategies is largely dependent on their science content knowledge and an understanding of the students in their classes. Importantly, it is generally recommended that teachers use 2 or more teaching skills for each instructional lesson. You might wonder, what do you mean by teaching skills? And how do I use them? Well, Chiappetta and Kabbalah provided the following as guidelines or examples of how to appropriately integrate multiple teaching skills, a variety of instructional strategies, and techniques proven to enhance learning. For instance, a teacher might employ a variety of teaching skills by initiating instruction, giving directions, asking questions, giving feedback, or bringing closure to instruction. Likewise, a teacher might use a variety of instructional strategies by demonstrating, discussing, and lecturing, reading and writing, role-playing and simulating, or working in the laboratory and field. And a teacher might incorporate techniques to enhance learning by identifying similarities and differences, using graphic organizers, utilizing note-taking, or practicing and reviewing. And remember, these are just examples. There are many other things that you can do as a teacher to utilize these special skills and strategies. Another important consideration is national and state standards. As you plan your instruction, it is often helpful to refer frequently to the standards prescribed by your school in order to ensure that you are offering your students opportunities to meet the requirements set forth by your school's governing agencies. Likewise, it is often helpful to refer to the course frameworks, which often accompany the national and state standards, to use as a starting point for planning. The course frameworks serve 2 main purposes: that of providing an overview of the course through unit outlines, and that of providing a description of each unit by providing learning outcomes, essential questions, and a list of standards that are addressed by each unit. Specific to the field of science education, you might also utilize science literacy maps. Science literacy maps can be found at the website on your screen and are published by the National Science Digital Library. They are a very helpful resource in that the science literacy maps show relationships among concepts and how concepts build upon one another through the elementary, middle, and secondary grades. Thus, they assist in helping you consider how your selected learning outcomes relate to the learning outcomes associated with students' prior and future science learning experiences.